They don't raise their voice. They don't hit you. They just stop showing love. And that silence, that withdrawal, it breaks you down in ways no scream ever could. So let's have a look at the breakdown of this. Withholding affection is one of the most insidious emotional tactics because from the outside, it doesn't look like abuse. There are no bruises, no big fights, no evidence. But what it does to your nervous system, your self-worth, and your emotional health is devastating. This is the partner who goes cold the moment you challenge them, the parent who only hugs you when you behave, the friend who ghosts you until you're back in line. It's not discipline, it's dominance. So let's have a look at what's really going on. They control you by controlling your access to warmth. They know affection is your lifeline, so they weaponize it. One minute you feel safe and loved, and the next you feel like you did something wrong, even when you didn't. This isn't just about physical affection, it's emotional presence, attention, praise, and care. They use love like currency, and when you step out of line, they shut down the bank. So why is it so effective? Because it mimics your earliest wounds. For many people, this starts in childhood. If your caregivers withheld love when you didn't behave, well, you learned that love must be earned, that you have to perform for affection. So when a partner or a friend does it now, it doesn't feel wrong, it feels familiar, like it feels like home. And because you crave that feeling of love again, you work harder, you become quieter, you try to be better, and they know it. It's like living in a house where the thermostat is controlled by somebody else. One minute they warm you up with kindness, the next they plunge the whole place into freezing silence. And no matter how cold it gets, you blame yourself for the temperature drop. Let's have a brief look at what it looks like. So, you set a boundary and suddenly they're distant. You express hurt and they stop texting or calling. And you make a mistake and they withdraw any signs of care. You want comfort, but they turn away saying, "I just can't right now." They use phrases like, "You push me away," or "You ruin the mood," making it your fault. They show affection only when you're pleasing them. You start to feel anxious every time they go quiet. You chase, explain, apologise. Not because you were wrong, but because the silence is, quite frankly, unbearable. So let's have a quick look at the damage it does to you. It trains you to believe that love is conditional. You stop expressing your truth to fear of disconnection. You feel like you're constantly walking on eggshells. Your nervous system lives in a freeze response. Anxious, desperate, ashamed. You begin to abandon your needs to keep their love switched on. And slowly your sense of self erodes. You go from a vibrant, expressive person to someone trying not to upset the apple cart. So let's look at why you stay. Because every now and then they do show some affection. Just enough to make you think the warmth is coming back. It becomes a cycle. Punish, reward, punish, reward. It's not love, it's behavioural training. And they do it not because they don't love you, but because they need to control the conditions in which you feel loved. So let's look at some solutions to help you. Firstly, spot the pattern of punishment. Ask yourself, do they withdraw affection when you express needs, disappointment, or boundaries? That's not emotional regulation, that's power play. Then, stop taking responsibility for their withdrawal. Their silence is a choice. It's not your job to fix it, chase them, or apologise for having normal emotions. Let their silence sit where it belongs, on them. Then, reconnect with unconditional warmth. Surround yourself with people who don't make you feel you have to earn love. Friends, pets, support groups. Rewire your nervous system to know that connection doesn't have to come with conditions. Then, voice the pattern out loud. Bring it into the light. When I express how I feel, you go quiet. That makes me feel punished. This disarms the dynamic and lets you reclaim agency. Then choose love that doesn't vanish when you speak. Real love stays present through conflict. Real love doesn't retreat when you reveal your truth. Find love that can hold space, not create silence. And here's an extra coaching tip. Notice how long it takes for them to reconnect. Do they only return when you break the silence? That's your evidence. Healthy relationships repair together. So, in my closing statements, withholding affection isn't emotional maturity, it's emotional punishment. They don't need to yell at you to break you down. They just need to withdraw love until you come crawling back. And that isn't love, that's a leash. And you don't need to beg for warmth. You were born worthy of it.